So this week we are doing Labyrinth of Nightmare, which is another great set, to be honest. There's some really powerful cards in here. There's one card in particular that I really am not a fan of, and I hope it will not make it past this week, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. First off, we have one of the Secret Rares, Gemini Elf. This is now the best normal summon in the game, just a 1900 attack normal monster. It's Earth too, so we'd love this. It would synergize with our Gaia power and our normal pool with the rats and stuff. It's not a rat target, but you know, filling graves for Earths, especially with Rock Spiridian this week, is also really good. Mass Beast is funny, but I don't think anyone's going to pull this Ultra and also the rare ritual spells that go along with it. Amphibian Beast is one of our better monarchs in this format. One tribute 2400 attack monster. Someone like Connor with his hefty water pool might want to play this. Mask of Weakness is essentially a reverse Rush Recklessly where a monster loses 700 instead of gains it. It's a bit worse because it's a trap, so you have to set it for a turn first, but for people who missed Rush Recklessly, this could be worth playing. Mask of Dispel and Mask of the Accursed, these kind of buff the burn strategy. I think burn is actually solid this week. Mask of Dispel, you equip it to a face-up spell card, and Mask of the Accursed, you equip it to a monster. At every standby phase, the controller of the equipped card is going to take 500 damage, so you slowly just put them on a ticking clock for a few turns. That, in addition to any other burn strategy cards you may be running, really adds up over time. A Tornado Wall makes Umi from set 1 worth revisiting. While Umi is on the field, the controller of Tornado Wall takes no battle damage. This becomes better later when we get Legendary Ocean to replace Umi and just kind of power creep it a bit. Fairy Box is the card that will ruin this week. Whenever your opponent's monster declares an attack, you toss a coin and call it. If you're correct, the opponent's monster's attack becomes 0 until the end of the battle phase. And during each of your standby phases, you have to pay 500 life points or destroy the card. This card is extremely frustrating. Turns every attack into a 50-50. If you're attacking into an attack position monster that is noticeably weaker than your own, you have a 50% chance to just die anyway and lose a bunch of life points. It's a really silly card. This card basically makes Remove Trap an essential card to include in your deck this week. Torrential Tribute is one of our crazy ultra rares this set. When a monster is summoned, destroy all monsters in the field. Very simple, easy to understand. A board wipe, a reactive board wipe at that. Very, very powerful card. Still sees play nowadays in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Card of Safe Return is a very old infinite facilitator. Whenever a monster is special stuff from the graveyard, you draw a card. I think it's not bannable in our format because we don't have the means to properly abuse it, but it is definitely something I would like to pick up if possible. We have a couple of cards here, Amazoness Archer, Fire Princess, and Lady Assailant of Flames, as well as Fire Sorcerer. These essentially are burn as like a monster kind of archetype in its very kind of infancy here. Tribute 2 monsters inflict 1200. Every time you gain life points, inflict 500. They're kind of strange, conditional kind of burn effects, but just the existence of these with the previously existing burn spells and traps kind of makes the strategy almost like a feasible thing you can play. I think especially in a sealed format like this, with access to cards like Gravity Bind and Fairy Box, which are going to be very hard to out for us with our limited removal, this could definitely see play and do well this week. United We Stand and Mage Power are a pair of very, very good equips, definitely the best equips in the game at this time. United We Stand, the equipped monster gains 800 attack and defense for each face-up monster you control, and this can make the monster become huge very quickly, as this does count the monster itself too. Mage Power is much easier to get immediate value out of, as the monster gains 500 attack and defense for each spell and trap you control. That includes Mage Power itself, so you could summon a monster, activate Mage Power, set the other 3 spells or traps in your hand. Suddenly the monster's getting 2000 attack. It's huge. It's crazy. Offerings to the Doomed is actual reliable removal. Target one face-up monster field, destroy it, but then you skip your next draw phase. You're giving up 1 card, basically 2, because you're using this card as well, just to destroy one monster, but it is a quick play. It is a reactive piece of removal, which is crazy good back in this era of Yu-Gi-Oh! We have a card that will become very good later, Jowgen the Spiritualist. You can discard a random card from your hand to the graveyard, destroy all special summon monsters on the field, and then neither player can special summon while Jowgen is on the field. This card paired with Last Turn, which is coming up soon, it's actually a game-winning strategy, but we'll explain that when we get to Last Turn in the week that appears. It might be next week. Kaiku is a great super rare, an 1800 attack Dark Beater. When he inflicts battle damage, you get to banish 2 monsters from your opponent's graveyard. You get to pick the monsters too, very, very strong. And while he's on the field, your opponent cannot banish cards from the graveyard. This will be a great side option for when Chaos hits, Invasion of Chaos. This card will see a resurgence if anyone does pull it this set. Bazoo the Soul Eater is the type of card that Kaiku will try and counter. Bazoo can banish up to 3 monsters from your graveyard. He gets 300 attack for each until the end of your opponent's next turn. So he can pump himself for 900, become a 2500 attack normal summon. We have Necrofear, Purity Light, and the Elemental Spirits. These all, in some way, the Elemental ones only have to banish 1 copy of a card with a matching attribute, Fire, Water, Earth, or Wind. Special themselves. They all have pretty good effects. The best ones are probably Aqua Spirit and Spirit of Flames. Spirit of Flames becomes a 2k just during your battle phase, and Aqua Spirit can change battle positions that then cannot be changed back. Zombira is a contender for new best normal summon in the game. He's a 2100, but every time he destroys a monster, he loses 200 attack permanently. Royal Command is the ultimate piece of flip hate. Continuous trap that just reads flip monster effects cannot be activated and their effects are negated. Very, very simple. Destiny Board is the first alt-win condition we've seen since Exodia in set 1, I think. Very difficult to pull all this. You need to pull an Ultra and then 4 specific rares. But every turn Destiny Board will add a new letter to the field until it spells out final. It's the censored version. It's supposed to say death in Japanese. But when you have all 5 pieces on the field, you win the game. It's very bad. It loses to a single Mystical Space Typhoon. But it's also very funny, so if I pull Destiny Board, I'll absolutely play this. Equipio Drakmord is very bad removal, but again, it is removal that recycles itself, so it could be worth playing just for that. It is essentially Power Crept Paralyzing Potion that after 2 turns will destroy the monster it's equipped to and bring it back to hand. Vengeful Bog Spirit is a great boon to any slow strategy like Stall or Burn or Control. Monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned. Very, very simple. Turns the game into Magic the Gathering in a sense. Very, very annoying to deal with, honestly, and yet another reason to run Spell and Trap removal in this set. The other secret, Magic Cylinder, iconic card, beloved by bad players from now until the end of time. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. This card is infamous for being played exclusively by bad players nowadays, because they'll always have the excuse, oh, it won me a game, and they won't remember the 50 times that Magic Cylinder did nothing for them. I will play it if I run it though, because in a slow ass format like this, getting like a 2k reflected attack in could honestly win you the game. Okay, so we're going to go do the 24 packs of Labyrinth of Nightmare starting right now. Okay, right away, the one card I wanted the most is Rock Spirit. I figured since we have such a big Earth pool, this is the way to go, so I'm very happy to see that right away. Equipio Drakmord is bad removal, but it's removal, so we're happy to see that. Mask of Brutality, I think, is actually playable? Let me see. This could actually be relevant. That's a big attack boost. That could win you games, like, at this point. The fact that we have the option of not paying and destroying it is quite good. Another Mask of Brutality immediately. We've got a Soul of Purity Light, this could be relevant, and we've got the Tornado Wall. This will be good if we ever go down the Legendary Ocean strat. Spirit Messagey. Okay, and Mask of Weakness. This is pretty much reverse Rush Miraculously, so we weaken our opponent's monster instead. Could be relevant instead. Oh, we got our first Zombira. Zombira is really good. It's 2100 normal summon. Gets smaller every time he kills something, but he does enough damage right away to not have to worry about that. We got the St. Joan Fusion Monster, which is pretty funny. Which I actually think there's one of the materials as well, the Forgiving Maiden. We got the third Bog Spirit. We got Gillosaurus, which you never know could come up. But yeah, complete some playsets of some important commons, which I think is almost better than pulling some of the big cards sometimes. Spiritualism is removal, so I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, so it's basically a 1-card True Nade, but they can't do anything about it. A third Brutality and another Rock Spirit, and another 2 Rock Spirit in the 1 pack. So we've got our playset of Rock Spirit, we're delighted with that. And the 3 Brutality, this could end up being really relevant. Very interesting. Got a Bazoo, that's really good. We got a Fairy Box. Fairy Box is huge. I don't think this will last the week. We'll probably get banned, but we want to use it while we got it. Fusion Gate is interesting. Skull Air. Get a lot of dreams out. Spirit of Flames. We didn't pull any UFO turtles, so I don't know if we'll ever be running this. Okay, there's our last tornado wall, I'm pretty sure, so I'm happy with that. Shining Abyss 2, great stat line, 16, 18. Very good. Summoner of Illusions, I might end up playing this just to... I could almost use that to get out the St. John's, actually. That could be a strategy. Amphibian Beast, this is pretty much our... it's got Jinzo-like stats, but no effect. But it could be good, especially, like I said later, if we're going to the ocean deck. Another Dragon Mode. Ooh, Magic Cylinder. Bad card nowadays, but honestly, this could be huge for us. Especially with Jinzo out of the format. Another Zombira too is great. A Jaugen, this is funny. If we get at the the last turn later, we can do the combo with this. Ikibio as well. Aqua Spirit, this is good because I do have somewhat of a decent water pool. It's our last Zombira as well. So I'd like to get another one of these if possible. Another Amphibian Beast. Again, like, really seems to want to push us towards the water strategy. And the last pack, we got, is that Jam Breeding Machine? I wonder, is this relevant at all? I doubt it. Yeah, no, that does not seem place. So we'll add this to our collection. And we'll get into the deck builder and see what we can get out of this. Okay, so here's what we're bringing to you, Labyrinth of Nightmare. Definitely not as confident in this build as I had been in my build last week. Mainly that's due to just not pulling anything that I think is an outright win condition out of the new set. After losing Jinzo, you know, nothing really is going to fill that void right away. And with the week we're going into, which is just Fairy Box Central, the deck is kind of built almost to like metagame that strategy. So because of that, I'm playing lots of cards that generate me advantage or get rid of my opponent's cards. So I'll just quickly go down the list and explain the reasoning for everything. So we're playing the one Bazoo. This is a decent boss monster. It's an Earth, so it synergizes with the usual cards. We should be filling the grave a decent amount throughout the game. Possibly. Depends on what type of deck we're playing against. If we're playing against Stall, which I feel like is really good this week, then Bazoo will probably not be great because our grave won't be getting filled very quickly. We're throwing Bubonic Vermins to fill the deck, and then we can tribute off the Vermins which share the pains and stuff like that to get them off the board to, you know, slowly kind of accumulate a bit of a graveyard presence and maybe a bit of advantage slowly over time. Gearfried is still an 1800 beater. Giant Rat is still just the Earth Recruiter. Hain can bounce stuff, maybe clear the field to attack and not have to risk dying because of Fairy Box. Magician of Faith will recycle all of our cards that we're going to use to either get rid of Fairy Box or get rid of our opponent's monsters. Stuff like Mystical Space Typhoon, Share the Pain, Remove Trap, Confiscation, Cold Wave, stuff like that. Sangan, you know, great Share the Pain target. Just great card all around, to be honest. The Rock Spirit, Free Body, especially late game. If there's a scenario where we can, say, destroy a Fairy Box, Share the Pain away a monster, we could summon multiple Rock Spirits and just start swinging direct and maybe like take a surprise win, close out the game. Under Gaia Power, it's 23 and our opponent's turn 25, which is huge. Giant Soldier as just a defensive target for the Rat. We still do need to play as if, you know, there's a normal kind of mid-range sort of game going on as well. Play the 2 Cold Wave. If we can go first and open Cold Wave, we can kind of stop the box ever kind of hitting the field in the first place right away, which is ideal. That's really what we want to get. That's not likely, but, you know, it can happen. Confiscation, you know, broken card. Mask of Brutality is the best equip. I don't want to play too many equips, but, you know, this is in here just because. MST, one of the best cards, something we're probably going to want to recycle a lot this week with our offs. Offerings of the Doomed, probably the best removal card. It's essentially costs a card from hand to use. It's just that card is the one you're about to draw next turn. Premature Burial, crazy good card. Not any amazing targets this week outside of maybe Bazoo and maybe just a beater like Rock Spirit, assuming he had been special summoned correctly the first time. Maybe special back to Sangan, tribute it off to get a search, something like that. Remove Trap, this is specifically to deal with Fairy Box. Share the Pain, like I've said a few times before, on the flip monsters especially, this is like kind of a neutral in terms of advantage, but it opens up their board, hopefully. Spiritualism. This is specifically because I feel like I'm going to have to play either Pierce or Adam, and Pierce has Imperial Order. this is an out to Imperial Order because although it's a spell, it can't be negated, which means Imperial Order's effect has no effect on it. I can get Order off the field for 1 turn, and if I've been sitting locked behind an Order for a few turns, I'll probably have a handful of spells that I can then use. It's not reliable, but it's something. I just don't want to find myself completely without an answer for Order at all. I can also chain the MST to the activation of Order if I do have it, which will pop it, but that's also, I'm relying on 2 1-ofs to out it. But it's also a 1-off, so it could work. We only pulled the 1 fairy box, but you have to play it. It's stupid. It's going to define this week. This week's going to suck, by the way. Magic Cylinder. If I ever do get attacked, this, gets a bit of burn damage in. Magic Drain to stop really annoying blowouts. This is here specifically because Adam has Heavy Storm, which I think kind of destroys a lot of the decks this week. I don't want to have to deal with that. And like I said, I will be playing either Adam or Pierce based on who wins their match. Time Seal. I think the games are going to be slow. This is like, I just didn't know what to have in my 40th card, so I just threw in this. I don't want to use Upstart because I think this week's games will be slow, so Burn is really open as a playstyle, and I just don't want to deal with that. 2 Gaia Power, just because at the end of the day, I do need to beat over stuff, even if Fairy Box is a card that exists. I need my monsters to be strong, and this is just a way to facilitate that all the time. I'm not too confident. I think this week may not go great for us, but let's get into these games and see how we do. Okay, so some bad news about this week's episode. Unfortunately, for some reason, OBS did not pick up the Discord call audio from when we were playing the games. Not sure when this happened. I don't recall changing any settings, and despite me changing nothing since, it seems to have fixed itself. But when I went back and listened to the recording, it was just myself talking and you couldn't hear anyone else. Now, we did have a solution. I just spliced together the actual gameplay footage from the matches, and we rewatched it and commentated over it just to have something to show. So this week's episode is going to be a bit shorter, slightly scuffed. Apologies for that, but it should be fixed by the next episode. But yeah, let's just get to the games. I'm going to start recording now.
Yeah, right. I'll leave you to your...
You don't want the sneak peek of the episode, man.
Actually, I'll tune in for a little bit. Might pop in with a little hey-ho every so often.
Hey-ho.
Yeah, you could tell your friend you appeared on an episode.
No.
Shoutouts to Mark.
No, this would be unreal. You can put featuring Ghostface Collie in the in the title. Get 20 extra views. Spread around to Smash Island and get 100 views.
Yeah. So Collie, any words for the people as our guest star?
Let's get the duel duel underway.
Yeah, that'll do.
No problem.
So Niall always goes rock here.
It's not always goes rock.
It's
in
Pierce
the,
versus Adam.
I called it right.
Pierce and the... Wait, who wins this? I can't remember. Not the duel. I mean the rock paper.
Oh,
you did. You won. Yeah. So we both went rock
first.
Yeah.
Both went rock, and then I was a Chad and went rock again.
I think you'll find we actually don't know the outcome because this is a game we're playing right now.
Of course, yes.
I genuinely thought this was Niall versus Adam because I saw.
I saw
Yeah.
Niall. And I was like, okay.
Oh
yeah, I remember we were all fucking pogging over Gemini Elf.
I was shitting myself over Gemini Elf, man.
I wasn't
until I knew what was in my hand.
I got kind of mauled in like retrospect. I was like, wait a minute, I really could have used that card.
Yeah, you really could have, man. You should have pulled 2 like me.
Yeah.
Should have just pulled 3 secrets.
Guess I'm just stupid.
Would love to pull another secret ever.
The Mask of the Accursed actually fucked the whole game for Adam.
Yeah,
oh my
Mask of
god.
the Curse.
Yeah. Actually,
not being able to remove it.
I just had no spell or trap removal whatsoever. I was just praying to top deck Heavy Storm the entire time. I was just like,
yeah.
That's
what then you might have had
yeah. That's what I was thinking. Even before the week started, I was like, because Pierce was asking for tips about the deck, I was like, yeah, this is a really good strategy. But the second Adam draws Heavy Storm, it's all over.
Yeah, my thought process was always.
Yeah.
My thought process was always, well, he has 1 Heavy Storm and I have 1 Imperial Order, so we have pretty much the same chances of countering each other. Like
people can win with worse odds. This was great. The
Magic
fairy
turn
band.
was
magic
huge.
turn.
Yeah, we just skipped over all that happened there. So yeah,
Fuck all
Pierce
happened,
is
man.
Pierce is on the fairy box. He had the
Yeah.
magic
Yeah.
turn to back it up.
Fairy box stall strat.
The instant
And
move to
it's
replace
all-
the fairy
Instant double,
box.
yeah.
I think it's at this point we realize Pierce is like 100% just playing burn this week.
Yeah, and then I can just destroy the other thing because,
Yeah.
and then
Because-
I was actually feeling pretty confident. I felt at this point I felt like I could win.
I thought you
But-
were going to win. Like, genuinely, like, if a
Yeah.
couple of things went a different way, like, there's like 1 or 2 cards in it, and you would have won the game.
I can't remember. I think
spoilers.
that's a Magician of Faith face down. And like, if you had just started attacking with that, like, it would have at least put some amount of pressure on me.
Yeah, but it's like, if he attacked with that, he would have had to pay for that too.
Oh yeah, I've completely forgot about my own toll.
Fucking toll. Oh, the big lad came down.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, get
2300.
Yeah, Harpy's
3P.
brother. I can't remember what happens here.
I just kept playing 500 because of.
Oh yeah, I just had
Oh,
another
God.
Michizuru, yeah. To just kill it again. And then, oh yeah, I remember what happens after this. Yeah. And I'm just losing like 1,000 every turn to
Yeah.
Mask of the Accursed and Toll.
Flip up the magician. And I think gets back.
It's
Just back a Rush Vex too, I think.
Yeah, just try get damage in. It's a decent pickup, but it's just not enough, I think, unfortunately.
It's just not heavy
Yeah.
storm.
Yeah, it's just not every
It's
story.
the fact-
Heavy storm.
Yeah. And it's like, you've already taken 4k damage at this point.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
okay, you're doing a bit to me, but you're also taking another 1k damage just for attacking.
Yeah, he needed a way to get his own elf off the field or get the mask off the field, and then the game would have been grand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then
Yeah,
and then
oh,
I,
yeah,
and
what
then I
was the-
start I start getting HP back again.
Very funny.
What was the trap I had? I thought I had a trap. Oh, I can't remember what set time. But I was thinking about using it to like destroy the elf, and then I realized you couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Mishizuri. Was it?
Only when
Like-
Yeah,
only when
Yeah.
You
That's
can't.
your bonus monster.
Some would have had to go to
Yeah.
your graveyard, and it didn't.
Yeah.
like
I
literally
think
Fair
this is just a
question, yeah.
concession here.
Yeah, literally the only deck that Michisuri wouldn't work against, because he doesn't kill your shit.
Yeah, I think they're just
Yeah.
like it'll take another 500 to attack, and then I had a ceasefire face down that would do another 1,500 damage. so
Yeah,
it
he
was-
literally needed Heavy Storm to win the game.
Well, and that was that.
Yeah.
I think you
Um,
pulled afterwards, and it was like 20 cards down in your deck.
Yeah, I was not getting heavy storm.
Yeah.
Like it was just not happening.
And
Um,
the next card out of my deck was a Gravity Bind.
Yeah. These games are so short when there's all the bullshit taken out.
Well, this one actually lasts a while. I kind of ground it out. Very proud.
Connor, man, I hate the eyes. They're so ominous, man.
I need
It's-
every edge I can
it's
get.
glad it's the jar. So I remember in this scene,
Yeah.
Niall told me to prohibition change of heart, and so I did. And then, yeah,
This
Yeah.
was
All according to the
Quite
script.
tough.
yeah.
considering also written into the script was Change of Heart was in my hand from top deck.
That's so funny.
So,
Was it your draw, or was it in your starting hand?
starting hand, it was the leftmost. It was the first card I drew,
That's incredibly funny.
and I just couldn't use it.
So I'm just here setting up some fucking rats, man. I went from my giant rat into the littler rat.
The flying rat.
Flying rat.
Giant rat into normal sized rat.
Can we just talk about how Morris just stole my deck?
Yeah, I want
Did
to
it
talk
better.
about how.
Did it better.
He
Yeah,
he
just-
just had
yeah, I
better.
just-
He literally has better cards for the pool than I do.
I made a dark deck, I made a light deck, and then I was like, wait a minute, I have 2 Gemini elves. So let
Yeah.
me just make an earth deck.
I think Dark
I
is
made-
worth doing for you though, because I think the week you played it was the week Connor just snatch dealed you and you didn't get to play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, my dark deck on that week was actually good. It was
Yeah.
just unfortunate.
Mhm.
And then the Ladybug here is just GG, because Connor clearly hasn't drawn another monster at this point.
No,
Yeah, I
he
have
has
it on board.
he has fucking Witch of the Black Forest in his hand, man. I'm almost certain he showed me his hand afterwards. And he has Witch of the Black Forest.
I think she was my last draw, and I couldn't do anything about it because I was already
Dead.
in a tough
Is
spot.
is this the famous 7k beatdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
damage here.
Okay,
The
we'll
spirit,
go to the
the spirits like this fella, the rock spirit, is so good because they're special summons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a
So you
free
just get
body.
an insane amount of damage off.
On an open board, like, it's nuts. Because this
Yeah.
is 27 because of Milos and the field. And then
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, 2k,
2k,
8,
1300 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
The-
was on this turn that Morris ratioed me.
Yeah.
The
Actually,
Yeah, I
it
mean-
was what 6,800 in one turn.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That didn't
And
feel good, but it felt like retribution, honestly, because I
Yeah.
did the same.
it's just revenge, like, from the last
Yeah.
time.
Niall told me to actually make it close, but I just had the hand for it, and I think it
Oh,
actually
the
just seemed
fucking
better.
knock
No,
as
as
well.
well.
Yeah,
Man.
Did you just draw a knock that turn?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure. I
Yeah,
didn't
and then
have
the
it saved,
Kaiku
but yeah.
just to be
The Kaiku, yeah.
I thought with the fucking revival jam as well, I was like, oh, at least I'm in this for like a couple turns,
So-
like one more
because-
turn.
Revival Jam only comes back the
The
I
next
think
Yeah,
turn.
on your
the
next.
standby
Yeah.
phase.
And you gotta
afterwards.
pay for it.
wouldn't-
I love
Yeah.
summoning Kaiku, just sub Kaiku is now bannable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was a quick beatdown.
Yeah,
Very easy, of course, for my deck.
Look at Niall
think it's
taunting, cursoring back and forth between first and second.
I do that as well.
And so here we can see the
Yeah, the cold wave. The cold wave was
inferior.
Yeah.
insane.
No, I will admit it, the worst version of the deck. I love that I didn't realize you were on my deck too until I saw the bubonic vermin coming out of you. I was like, oh no, it's actually the exact same deck.
It's bubonic vermin is actually fucking nuts, man.
He's class, man. I love him. The little guy.
It's crazy that just having lads that you can just have on the board is so broken.
Yeah.
like.
And like, I only started playing him because I needed bodies for Jinzo. But now, like,
Yeah.
I just kept him because he's like, oh, he's actually just solid.
Yeah, and if
Like,
you
I completely forgot that I just completely passed my first turn. I think I set like one monster and that was it.
You got Cold Wave,
Because-
like, you
yeah,
couldn't
because
do
of the
anything.
cold wave. Yeah.
And like, I was packing Cold
You-
Wave for Fairy Box.
You
decks.
you just pulled like a god. I just realized because you had cold wave turn 0, and then you just top decked confiscation as well.
Yeah. And then we
As you do.
flipped the little guy.
And it's the fact that I had gravity bind down and not fairy box.
You got hit with a power play here. The masked mouse. Go
yeah, it's really
That's Gemini
funny.
Elf.
The bubonic vermin is a 1900 if you've got Milos Radiant and the fucking guy of course on the field.
It's the fact that it's a 3-star, so it gets under gravity bind
Yeah.
and level limit and all
Yeah.
that.
Do you know what
3
card?
stars are very
What card we saw? If like level 4 ever became too good, or like Gravity Bind ever became too good, there's a card called Infinite Dismissal. That's like
Oh yeah.
every level 3 or lower monster dies the end of the turn it's summoned. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
anti-weenies. Gravity Bind. Oh,
I should have played that and gravity bind
don't
just
get
so that.
I don't get to play my Bazoo, which is very upsetting.
Yeah.
A card called the Salty Spittoon, Niall.
I love this.
I remember the Bazoo.
pitching another remove trap when I could have just activated a second one anyway.
Well, I mean it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's just
Yeah.
funny.
Well, no, it's good because I could have had another magic drain
Yeah,
down or something.
true actually. Yeah, you pump up the Bazoo.
I think that's game, isn't it?
I think it's very close to game.
1800 plus another
1800.
2k-ish.
Yeah.
36. 100.
No, because Bazoo is more than
Yeah.
Oh,
Bazoo comes
you were
up by-
counting other numbers.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Oh,
22.
see.
Yeah.
And then
So I get
wishes.
back my 500 HP, and then I think I just concede because I drew another trap.
You concede or you set pass. Oh, you ceasefire. Burn
Yeah.
me for
Okay,
50.
ceasefire just to burn you for 15.
Just because you
and
can, yeah.
then, Yeah, but it will look a little bit more respectable.
And Bog Spirit.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the Bog Spirit.
If that came out
Oh.
earlier, it would have made an impact, but unfortunately not.
Okay, finals.
This was grand finals then.
Finals.
Yeah,
And a mirror match actually.
yeah, and then a mirror.
The first ever.
This one felt bad because I just drew none of my big guys at all.
That's what you get for running 20 monsters, man. Instead of the Chad 22 monsters.
Only beaters, no spell trap, even though
Like-
there's 18. But
Like Falcon Dittos, where someone's playing Green Falcon, so they're actually technically slightly better.
Yeah, Morris had the green Falcon
just slightly.
of decks.
I don't know which rat that is, but you can for sure know that's a fucking rat.
I'm not sure why you decided attack position giant soldier was a good one.
I
You thought
can't
it was,
remember what my logic
no,
was
you,
at the time.
No, you thought it was a 4-star ladybug. And you literally
Yes,
said I'm
yeah,
calling out the 4-star
I had the read
ladybug.
on
Oh,
that
okay,
4-star because
yeah.
Morris loves that card. He was on it constantly.
Um,
It
Still
would have
think-
been, yeah.
I think set the rat pass is just better.
I guess, but see, I expected to actually draw into my level 4 monsters this game, and I didn't.
yeah, rat was just like, if I can just maintain the board, then I can get like a higher. I think I'm pretty sure I even had fucking 4-star ladybug in my hand, but it was like, I could probably get a bigger one, you know?
Yeah. Also, just I hate Gaia power in this matchup because I'm just like, well, do I lose a card from my hand to make his monsters also stronger, or? But then I felt bad because yeah, I would have been larger than the fish.
And then also the Gaia power lowers the defense as well. So if you're on the back foot, you just get
it's really. I
absolutely-
think I should have cylindered there, and then Gaia
Yeah.
powered and killed the fish next turn. But like, it's all it's always obvious in retrospect.
I cannot remember the result of this match.
Yeah, and
Um,
switches to defense. I'm clearly on the back foot. I think he throws down the Gaia power now,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, oh, this is bad. This is going really bad.
I do think in our games, in retrospect, aggro is pretty much always the move for us, or should be the move for us.
No.
I'm ch- I-
Like, your deck absolutely fucked at him. Like,
I'm challenging that convention this week. I'm not on aggro.
No,
and
but
next
no, I
week as
mean,
well.
I mean making aggro moves. Like
oh
they're
yeah,
not,
no, you
not a
want,
way
no,
to
you
defend.
need board control. Like,
Yeah,
board control is
Yeah.
always good. If you can like knock a monster off their board, it's always good. But that's not necessarily, not necessarily aggro. I've just got the fucking border rats here.
you do.
Little rat man.
Class deck, rodent
Thing is,
turbo.
it's kind of lost by this point. Like,
Yeah, like I was just hoping the top deck something broken.
I don't even know what your top deck is. Like,
Yeah.
Jinzo, man. Top deck Jinzo from last week.
did you? Yeah, like top deck, like a fucking gear freed or something.
Very funny that the Earth deck is getting rid of Gaia power here
Yeah.
as well. But then I'm pretty sure I actually just had all three of them.
I was literally just like, yeah, like maybe I'll buy myself a turn of not taking as much damage. But then like the immediate other one, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you were on, I think you said you had 0 fairy box, so the remove traps are just dead. Dead in hand.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the actually really funny part about not having any fairy boxes is that I just make all the remove traps just fucking awful.
Yeah, so
Like, I'm pretty
I
sure.
was boarding really hard into like hitting what I thought was going to be the meta, and it worked great against Pierce, but not against you.
Yeah. I had 2 Michizuru and those were my only 2 traps, so even like a fucking knock or something is not that good on me either.
Yeah, with a bit of luck, the fairy box could have honestly turned the game around. But again, that's
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think he just got really unlucky.
Yeah.
There was only 1 heads out of the 4 attacks.
Yeah. But I clicking the fucking counter instead of the coin. Like
I actually had a Gaia Force here in my hand. I
You
don't
just-
know why I didn't play. I just for some reason was like, what is that?
probably just
other
got
card?
excited.
No, I was trying to be conservative for some reason, but I don't know why.
Because it
There
would've-
was something I could have played that basically would have made this
Yeah.
over the top.
Yeah.
Well, a Gaia power would have made this.
Yeah. For some reason I was worried that you'd somehow wipe my board.
Yeah, and then I can't pay for Fairy Box, and I top deck Coldwave. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just lose. So I just put my hand on the field.
Yeah.
This is a special kind of raging. It's not
I
even
thought you
raging.
were going to do the classic as well of offering a draw. That's the Nile classic.
But yeah, like I didn't draw Bazoo, I
actually-
didn't draw Rock Spirit, I didn't draw Gearfried.
Yeah, get on, man. Rats for the win.
Yeah, so we'll just get, while on recording, Connor and Pierce to reiterate your bans, because we obviously lost that footage too.
Yeah, I think I went first because I lost in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I banned 4-star Ladybug of Doom.
Yep.
I was very reliant, and I think I will be reliant on 4-star monsters into the future. So I think it just is in my best interest from my card pool's perspective, and
Yeah.
it's also very strong in general. So
No, I think it's a solid ban, and it hits Morris, which is good because he has
Yeah.
3 of them.
I think Adam had a couple as well in his.
He has
deck.
3 as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I
had
made
three.
sure he had
Yeah.
3.
collateral damage.
I got hit by both bats actually.
Ooh,
At 3 of each.
Ugh.
That's rough.
Yeah, because despite building my strat around it this week, I've decided to ban Fairy Box as it's a stupid card.
Yeah. Yeah,
So on
that's
that
a
page.
It's
selfless
just
ban.
annoying.
I respect it.
Mm.
And I came last, so I spun the wheel and got a common card. So that was good.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got a fucking common. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's so shit.
Out of the
Well,
three wheels,
it's not-
we've had so far, we've had one